Open Mic Land, what is up, y'all? We are episode number 43, and this is August the 9th. And as you see, Philippe is back for his third time at the table.
Three times.
And I can't brag about this guy enough, man. He always shows up in the clutch. You know, Johnny ain't back yet, and can always call this guy. And why I always like having you on is you're one of the rare dudes to me that is very open-minded. You're not like a typical dude. It's like has this facade of like a pose, like, oh, I'm a dude. You can't talk about that. You can't say that. Dudes don't say that. Yeah. No, fuck that. You're secure with who you are. You already proved that you're a tough dude. There's no need to go around barking like you are. And that's why I've always enjoyed conversations with you, because we have that level where there is none of that shit.
Yeah.
You know, we already know who we are. You know, and so conversations with you are always great, and being able to have it on this type of platform for other people to enjoy, fucking crucial. So I can't thank you enough.
It is. No, thanks for having me, man.
So tell me about this article you were telling me you wanted to
I was just browsing through the news today at work, and I see this article about in the south side of Chicago, in I guess the bad neighborhoods, the cops were taking a kind of like a delivery truck, like a big, not an 18-wheeler, but a little bit smaller but bigger than a van, right? And they were leaving the back door open, and it was full of Nike and Louis Vuitton boxes.
They were baiting people?
Yeah, but they were doing it right next to a basketball court, somewhere in this bad neighborhood next to a basketball court where like kids, like probably preteens and teenagers, were playing basketball, right? And they left the door half open so you could see what was in there. And these community activists went up to the cops and confronted them. Like, they knew what it was. They knew what was going on, and they told them, they're like, this isn't right. And like, you're setting up, you've got these kids out here playing basketball, you know, and that's like, they need to have the cool shoes, and you're leaving this door open with them. I mean, like, and they were like, well, this theft happens all the time. The cops' response was, or whatever. But I mean, I don't know. Like, I was reading through the comment section, was usually the first place I go, right? Because you see such a different array of people's opinions that just goes from 1 to 10, 0 to 20 real quick.
To rational to irrational.
Yeah. So there's people, and I'm assuming most of them are white, were saying like, well, you know, you got to know what's right. You don't steal, even if the door was open, you don't take it, right? And I can see that point, because I think that's how I was raised. Probably if I saw it, I'd think real hard about it, because there's some Nike, there were Jordans, they were all Jordans too.
I love Jordans.
Yeah, yeah. But you got to think these like you know, these African American kids that are in this poor neighborhood that have nothing, and that's like right in front of them. All they got to do is reach over and grab it.
Dude, you're totally right, because I hear what you're saying. Because to hate to be stereotypish or whatnot, but a white kid who's going to have parents who are going to buy that, yeah, it's easier for them to not make that bad choice because they have access to that at home. Mom, I want an iPad Mac, or Mom, I want Jordans, like you said. Yeah. Okay, well, we'll buy that for you. Well, like you said, the urban kid, whether he's Mexican, he could even be a white kid. Right. It's the urban, not necessarily a race. It's an urban, or, you know, we'll say urban to the suburban kids. The suburban kids, like you said, those are the people saying, well, you got to know right and wrong. Well, it's easy to know right and wrong when you don't have the pressure of not having access to that at all. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Or maybe on top of that, maybe even being taught that at all. Some of those kids may have not even been taught that. Their mom or whoever their parent is
working full time.
Parent, just works all the time. They just got the TV and Instagram and stuff like that to go by. You know?
For sure.
But anyway, I'm sorry to interrupt you. Go ahead.
No. You're right though. But here's the thing though. Okay, so to kind of cap your point, you feel that it's wrong, or what?
Yeah, I feel like in that instance it's wrong. Like, I would say, like, you know, if you were to do that, do it like in an industrial area where there's warehouses where probably people will drive around. Like, to me, that's like, I hate to use this rash of a term almost, or like a example, I guess. Is it like, if you had these kids that were absolutely like starving, like for no food, and then put a truck of food that was open with them, you know, and like they're gonna go take it, and like, I'm not saying that starving and wanting Jordans is like the same thing, but in like in our current society, it's like that is pretty important, because everybody wants to be like Instagram famous, wants to put all their stuff on Twitter and all this, you know, and so
that's the culture right now.
Yeah, you're told right now you gotta have that stuff, and that's so in that instance, I feel like that was maybe somewhere even else in the neighborhood, but man, right next to where like kids are playing basketball, like, I don't know.
It was targeted because
Right.
are they doing that at a suburban basketball court as well?
Right. No, I don't think so. And you're right. That's probably the word that escaped me all day was they were targeted.
Yeah,
That's how I felt, as they were targeted.
100%.
Yeah,
As soon as you kind of filling me in, I was like, oh, that's a target situation. Here's the thing, though, to compare apples and apples in a sense. That's a targeted issue, right? How do you feel about the bait car? You ever heard of the bait cars?
I have.
How would you have the same sentiment there?
No, because I don't know. I just feel like they're different situations. Like the bait car, they put in a pretty random spot. I don't think they drive it to like the hood and park in front of it with like the windows down of a Lexus or something like that. But
No?
so I feel like that's okay because I think a natural criminal. Somebody who's a career criminal or not whatever that you want to be arresting probably walks around and looks for stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
Those kids weren't walking around looking for those shoes. Those shoes were
There for them.
Just
Yeah,
laying in front of
it's
them.
similar to that fucking old situation where we'd see a box and a stick and a kid and somebody
Yeah,
holding the
yeah,
string.
yeah.
Same thing, but with the cops. You know what I mean?
Those old cartoons.
Yeah, and that's what's really bad is to kind of more about the whole judicial system or whatever you want to call it, the criminal system, is that's one thing that I've always heard about is that how the people that they fill those jails with are situations like that. It's targeted minorities, urban people. It's just like a revolving door, and that's just another case of them giving them access to going back to prison or giving them a record when they don't really need it. Because I mean, think about it. If that truck wasn't there and these kids don't have a record, and they automatically get a record for stealing. Yeah, stealing is bad. And to the other people who said you should know right and wrong, absolutely.
Yeah.
But there's life. There's just, I think it was a very good point when you said, it's different with an urban kid and a suburban kid. A suburban kid can make that distinguishable. Like, oh, I can just get my mom to buy that.
Yeah.
Well, they don't. Urban kids don't have that. You know, nobody. Even us, we're not even that bad, but we were middle class, and we were. Dude, if I ever told my parents can I have a pair of Jordans, and they'd be like, well, how much is it? They'd have fucking slapped me with the chocolates so quick.
I don't think I ever got Jordans. I could never break out
Oh,
of
hell
that
no.
125 plateau or whatever. Maybe $80 was as high as I was going, but
There was no fucking way I was going to say I would like $130 pair of shoes, for what they would have said. And I'd be like, to fucking local. What? Get the hell out of here. Yeah, there's no way. So yeah, that's a shitty situation because like I said, there's a lot of, because they're probably teenagers, like you said, right? You said teenagers, preteens and shit.
yeah.
You're already starting them down a bad path by giving them that option because it's dangling candy in front of a fucking person. They're gonna take it. I mean, hell, I'm 36 years old, and I would even run the situation in my head. Can I get away with this? And I do know what's right and wrong, but I'm still gonna think to myself, maybe I have a chance to swap a pair of Jordans because I don't have a pair of Jordans.
Yeah, that's what I told you. That's why I said too. I was told right and wrong. I know for sure, but I'd have to think real hard if I saw the situation too, just because it'd be like that. But that's just a moral dilemma all of us go to. And to those people that commented, like you said, that they should have known better. I mean, that's just it. Not everybody was raised with the same morals or even any at all, and you just kind of try to have to look at things from other people's perspective sometimes instead of just your own.
Yeah, and I think that's extremely hard to do. And you would think in the world that we live in, it would be almost easier to do because information is just so accessible to us. But for some reason, it just doesn't filter right. It's always filtered in bad shit. Like the whole I don't know what kind of social media are you on?
I'm pretty much on Twitter, and then I just scour the web when I have time, what I can do.
See, and I'm only on Facebook because I'm lame. I don't have Instagram or Twitter or anything cool like that. But the stuff that is always on my feed, it's just fucking negative as could be, and it's a shame because you would think in a world where you have this access for everybody to see things, you're just muddying it up with politics because Facebook is extremely dominated at politics. It's terrible, and it's just always bad stuff. Every once in a while I'll come on I'll come through a cool video or a cool thing and I'll share it on this podcast, and that's kind of the point of why we wanted to do the podcast too, is just to kind of put good stuff out there, make people laugh, whatever it may be,
Yeah.
But man, it's really hard to come by sometimes because it's just full of crap. And there's another article. The article you saw is just another one of those it's a downer, you know what I mean? It's a bummer. I saw a real funny post the other day. Time, it was on Twitter. Of course, I don't have Twitter, but somebody, I guess, screenshotted it. And it's Time, which is Time Magazine, which is a huge respected magazine, or whatever you want to just call it, just a huge media outlet for everybody in the world. And they posted Selena Gomez's profile went to private. And so some dude posted, there's a fucking slave trade going on in Libya, and this is the shit that you know what I mean? And I was like, dude, fucking amen, bro.
Yeah.
That's just complete, like, what, like, that's fucking where the world we're living in, you know?
It is. It's like, man, I refuse to participate in the Kardashians. If I see any articles or anything on, if I'm watching TV and they come on, I change it. There's an article, I make myself, I won't click it, no matter how good the picture may look to look at, I won't click it. Just cause, man, I think they're just like, that just is bringing us down as humans.
Right.
I don't know. I don't really know how else to put it, but.
And it's good that you don't click on it, because one thing that I've noticed about doing this podcast is that when I post stuff, there's algorithms. Mm-hmm. So it tells me how many clicks it gets, who clicks it, from what part of the country. So you know all those articles they have that same algorithm or whatever, or that same stats and all that saved. So people are, and that's probably why we're at, because people were clicking on Kardashian shit instead of clicking on the Liberian shit. You know what I mean? And I think that's why we see this crap nowadays.
Yeah.
It's bad. It sucks. Like, for instance, we're talking about crazy shit that I saw. Check out this fucking video that I saw. I mean, I've been in trouble before, mm-hmm. but there's no way I would have the balls to do what this guy did. Check this guy. This guy's in the middle of court, and he fucking books it.
Wow.
But that ain't the crazy shit. Watch this. Second fuck.
Oh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And he would have got away with it if it wasn't for those fucking guys sitting down there. Look at this. That's so wild. That's wild. Oh, look at his blood. He must have
crazy.
Yeah. I couldn't believe that.
I liked him. Does it say what he was?
No, it didn't.
She was there for a speeding ticket.
Right. So it must have been something bad. Think about the people sitting in court too.
Yeah, I'd be thinking like, what the? Did he just? And then that shit.
I mean, look at that. He should have took the time to at least try to land on his feet.
I don't think he knew that was there. Wasn't accounting for it. I think he just hit it.
That's so nuts. Hey, honey, what happened at work today? It was raining convicts.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's nuts, man. That's like I said, I've been in trouble before, but I've never done shit like that before. I would even attempt to do shit like that. You ever seen this article? Since we're talking about crazy shit on social media, you ever seen this article about this guy named Kai?
I don't think so.
Oh, dude, I gotta play this interview here. It's a couple minutes long, but we'll take the time to appreciate it because it's probably one of the greatest fucking interviews I've ever seen.
One of the heroes. Yeah.
So,
do you mind?
enjoy this for a little
What do
bit.
you want to talk about? What happened today? Well, went straight out of Dogtown, skateboarding, surfing it up. Before I say anything else, I want to say no matter what you've done, you deserve respect. Even if you make mistakes, you're lovable. And it doesn't matter your look, skills, or age, or size, or anything. You're worthwhile. No one can ever take that away from you. Now, this stuff right here, I was driving and I was in the passenger side of this car, and he comes over on there. He was over by the recycling center. He said, "Oh, when I was in the Virgin Islands, 30 years old on a business trip, I this 14-year-old." I was like, "You what?" He's like, "I raped this 14-year-old, starts crying, gives me a big hug." He's like, 300-pound guy. I was like, "Oh shit." He must be man, like, what's he talking about? I didn't take him seriously at first. He comes driving down this way. He's like, "You know what? I come to realize I'm Jesus Christ, and I can do anything I want to." And watch this. Bam! He smashed into this guy right there, pinned him in between that truck. And so I hop out. I look over, the guy's pinned there. I mean, like, freight train riders know this. Like, if you get pinned between something, do not move that shit, otherwise you bleed out. Like, motherfucker, I ran in, I grabbed the keys, he's sitting there like...
This is on the news, too.
Like that. If you start driving that car around again, man, there would have been a hell of a lot of bodies around here. I hop on out, and so I grabbed the bag, I threw it over by that pole right there, and then Buddy gets out, and these two women are trying to help him. He runs up and he grabs one of them, man. Like a guy that big can snap a woman's neck like a pencil stick. So I ran up behind him with a hatchet, smash, smash, smash. Yeah, the lady said she saved her life. She was the one who got grabbed by that fucker. You know what? It's cool. That guy ain't. shit. How'd you?
So this guy's become a fucking legend, dude. I shit you not. Have you not seen this?
No.
It's a couple years old.
You know what though? The beginning was like pretty profound, and then he goes into
Yeah, he's like, everybody should be respected, you know?
love yourself, and and you can do good, and this and that. Yeah, and then he goes into that crazy stuff.
Dude, but this guy has become a little cult legend. There's like gifs and all memes
Yeah.
and shit of this guy. Like he's just. There's more to the interview. It's a 5-minute long interview. Of course, I can't play the whole thing without getting blocked off of Facebook or YouTube. But yeah, I mean, this guy's a cult legend, man. He's just hilarious. His name is Kai.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what is? I mean, did that really happen? He
Yeah,
went and
yeah.
helped-
He saved somebody. He's been hitchhiking and he came across this altercation and you know, this guy apparently he's deemed a hero because this guy's a pedophile and he was going to hurt some women, so he stepped in and did it, you know, hatchet to the head. And he's just like nonchalant about it. I mean, if I you know, regardless if I saved somebody or not, I'd be a little shook.
Yeah.
Especially with the hatchet.
Yeah.
I mean, that's violent, dude.
The way he did it too.
Smash! Smash! And then the last one,
Yeah.
smash! I mean, but like I said, this guy's just become this cult icon out of nowhere, you know. He's one of those guys where you can be like, dude, you ever seen that interview with Kai? And I guarantee you, at least 75 to 50% of the people are going to know who it is. At least I feel like it. Pretty crazy shit, though.
I have to remember that guy.
Kai, yeah, man. It was wild. Are you familiar with the haka?
I don't think so.
No, me and Johnny talked about.
Oh, is that the dance that the New Zealand guys do?
Yeah, it's real like
Yeah,
crazy.
tribal.
Yeah. We showed it on a couple podcasts ago. I mean, it had to be every bit of 10 or 12 podcasts ago, and I've kind of been seeing it lately, and I thought this was a cool version of it. This is his teacher who's apparently been teaching at the school for a long time, and so the kids did a little thing for him. It's intense, is it not? Yeah, that's a bunch of people doing that. Even the people up on the top. I didn't even notice that earlier. That is so dope, dude. Fucking love that. In America, you just have a bunch of people clapping and shit. Here, they're just giving you a display of emotion. Whether you may see it as aggressive or not, but there's just something honorable and respectful about it.
I just think if you're in that, doing that with them, you draw all this energy to you. Too.
Right?
Yeah, like I would feel like probably so. I'd be trembling when I was done.
Yeah, I agree. It's a shot of adrenaline. You know, and the one that me and Johnny watched, it was a funeral. The kid had got suicide. Oh, here's the teacher. Everybody just chills like nothing.
Yeah.
So it was a pretty neat video. But like I was saying, the one that me and Johnny saw was a kid committed suicide. So they were all, you know, at the funeral procession. I guess it was over, so they were walking out of the funeral and they were all doing it. And it was so powerful. And there was obviously a bunch of women there too that were there for the funeral. And then they do their own little part to it. Oh, it was intense, strong, aggressive, honorable, beautiful. All these emotions all up in one, because something like that is just one of those intense things. But I'm gonna play one more version of it. And Jason Momoa, how do you pronounce that guy's name?
I think it's Momoa.
Momoa, yeah, Aquaman, the
Yeah.
fucking guy from Game of Thrones. Anyway, but he's in this one too. This is an MMA gym with Mark Hunt. Obviously, Mark Hunt's.
Yeah.
And this is after a practice, just to give you a different perspective of a different kind of haka. Such a neat culture exchange, you know, because it's so different than what we're used to in our culture. I wish I knew what they were saying. You know, Jay Leno had a thing where he'd go like on the streets and he'd talk to people like, you know, about. I really wish we could do this in like, you know, Austin, San Antonio, wherever it may be, and have a little tablet and show people the haka and kind of get their idea. Because I would really think the average American is going to be like, whoa, what the fuck is this? You know what I mean? I think it's going to be such an intense thing to see. But as you kind of figure it out a little bit and kind of get to know about the culture, you're just like, wow, this is all about respect and honor. Somehow, I guess they're honoring Mark Hunt. They didn't really go into what it is, but
Yeah.
it's some kind of a neat thing. What other cultural things have you ever thought were kind of strange, or, you know, like for instance, there's that culture in Africa somewhere or whatever. They jump off with the vines strapped to their legs. You ever seen that?
Mm-mm.
What? Oh, we gotta pull that up. Yeah, dude, it's this African culture, and they make this makeshift like tower, and they tie like literally vines on their ankles, and they jump. It's like a leap of faith, and they're way the fuck up there. This ain't ropes and bungee jumps. This is like vines from the fucking trees that they tie on it.
And do they jump from trees or
No, they
cliffs,
jump
or
off this man-made little structure.
Huh.
Yeah, it's crazy, and it's some type of rite of passage. I don't know what it's called. That's from. I'm not a. Yeah, this here. Check this out. Obviously, yeah, it's intense, dude. And like I said, it's some type of rite of passage. And if I had to do this, like if it was some type of like, you got to prove your manhood on doing this, I would seriously be fucking scared. But anyway, here it is. So yeah, look at that. Just, yeah, intense. Let's see if there's sound. Maybe they tell us.
How does it?
Yeah, look, I mean, like I said, it's roots, bro. It's not a look at this thing. How intense is this? And it just stops them.
So we're here on Pentecost Island in Vanuatu with Lindblad Expeditions National Geographic, and we're at the Land Divers.
Land divers, huh?
Land diving developed in Vanuatu, dating back many centuries. While the exact reason for the diving isn't known, the timing of the diving in April and May is tied to the yam harvest.
Okay, so there is
Every
no
dive
reason why.
ensures a bountiful harvest.
Look at that.
Diving is thought to help the health and strength of the divers,
How
and of
can
course,
it
to show off their masculinity.
like, I think it might pull your leg out of socket, or
Right.
break an ankle.
I mean,
or,
help. Look at him. He's
The
standing.
camera's going to be up
Wow.
there, and we're hopefully going to capture it.
Oh, somebody's gonna put a GoPro on it. This would be dope.
Incredible event. They're going to tie vines to their ankles and jump
Oh,
off.
cool,
and we're gonna
man.
hopefully capture it all.
This would be cool. Intense. And it's raining.
Kind of throws it off to me that they've got umbrellas, though. You know. That's like,
I would have to do this, I guess. Oh my
that
dude!
cracking
Did you see how
sound.
close he was to the ground? Yeah, I heard that crack too. I mean, look at how close he is. Wow, inches. Intense stuff. Yeah, I can't believe you've never heard of that. I thought, because I've seen it all my life, man. It's just.
that right there, bungee
Yeah,
jumping?
yeah. I've always seen it, and I've always been impressed by the balls and the courage and stupidity, whatever you want to call it, the traditional. I mean, it's just amazing. Do you think you could pull that off? No, you.
Nah, honestly, I don't think I could.
I mean, I would. I guess I would. As much as I'm a chicken shit of heights, I would have to, because I see about 10 dudes do it, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna hit the ground, but it's gonna be after a sudden stop. I might get hurt, but I'm not gonna die.
Mm-hmm.
And just to say that I've done it, I would have to do it. I would have to do it.
Have you ever bungee jumped?
No. Unfortunately, I'm kind of a fatty, so it probably would pull my pull my legs out of my sock. But I'd still have to try it,
Yeah. Yeah.
I have to. Yeah, and there's another cultural thing that always was weird to me. It's another African tribe that they make this drink, and everybody spits in it. You take a drink and then you spit it back in there, and you all pass it around. And after everybody spits in it, then you drink it. It's fucking crazy. Oh well, I mean, look at the Australian people. They drink out of a shoe. They literally drink out of people's shoe. You ever seen that? Like we went, like if you're at a bar and you drink it, you're at, you know, someone's like, oh, you pour a beer into your shoe and you have to drink it. So nuts.
Yeah, I don't think I'd do that. But I think I've seen like a race car driver do that. Maybe he was Australian. He won. He was drinking out of his shoe.
Right. Yeah, it's an Australian thing. I mean, there's just so many different neat cultures out there.
Yeah, it's definitely good to explore them all and get to know about some of them because just like you said, there's all sorts of neat things you can know. There's more than American culture out there.
Yeah, for sure. And definitely don't go around judging. I mean, obviously make the comments between your friends like, oh, that's crazy, I wouldn't do that. But I mean, definitely if you're ever in the vicinity of something or you're around people you don't know, I would definitely wouldn't be that dickhead that's like, oh, look at these stupid people or whatever, you know what I mean? Because that's too many people do that. I think we need to be a lot more open to the world around us because there's a lot going on, you know. I don't know if you saw the last podcast. I had some travelers on, Janet and Mike Hardy, which by the way, appreciate you guys coming in. They sailed the ocean and they did the. You ever seen that movie The Way? No. It's a movie about this hike in Spain. It's like a 500-mile hike or whatever. But the wife did it. Anyway, but they told me that, you know, the world is so different in Spain. You know, she's like, here in America, she's like, she straight up said, Spain is my country. She's like, it was hard to come back to America because you're in a country they don't have, like you've known about this whole straw situation, right? Have you heard about the straw thing? Well, in California, they're banning straws and plastics because apparently the filth is just the trash is just getting ridiculous. So they've banned straws in California. And I actually read an article before we started this that said they want to give people who are using straws like a ridiculous jail sentence, like a year or something, you know, or 6 months or something. Yeah.
Straws.
For straws, yeah, because it's just plastics, trash, all this. Yeah. Anyway, but honestly, as stupid as that sounds, you know, these guys that were on our podcast last week said that they're in the ocean and they're traveling the ocean in the fucking sea, middle of nowhere, but away from land, and there's just trash everywhere. And that shit bummed me out, man.
Wow.
That bums me out to think that you could go into the ocean and sell the ocean and you're still surrounded by trash.
Yeah.
She said they both said it's bad. There's fucking trash everywhere. And she said while she was in Spain doing this whole hike that they don't have plastics. Like if you go eat at a restaurant, they don't give you plastic stuff. It's all forks, metal forks, a regular plate, a cup, a glass. It's all stuff that they can take and wash. And there's no such thing as like takeout over there. Like you don't go and order shit and take it out. I mean, you might, but she said it's almost frowned upon because in that culture, eating is a loving thing to do with somebody you care about. So when you go eat, you want to take the time to sit and eat. You don't just eat in a hurry and get the fuck out. You know, can I have a to-go plate or whatever? You stay and you enjoy the meal and the ambiance of everything. So she said there was almost no plastic in Spain. She said, and therefore, it's extremely clean. There's no guns, there's no trash anywhere, there's nothing.
Wow.
And I asked her, I go, well, why do you think in America it's so bad? She said, because I think we're always in a hurry.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
And she also said it was kind of a bummer because they came back to America and they went to eat at Panda Express, and she was like, oh, it was so bad because she not being conscious of selling the ocean and seeing all the trash, and they've always been really earthly conscious. She said, and you came back to America and we went and ate a $10 meal at Panda Express. She goes, and I was thrown off by how much trash is in this meal. I mean, they gave us plastic silverware, plastic fish, styrofoam cups. She's like, it was unreal how much trash was just in this one meal. You know, and that's just their perspective from being overseas and then coming here, and you're like, oh wow,
yeah,
what a bummer.
That is that does bum me out when you said it in the middle of the ocean. When you were setting that up, I thought you were gonna say like how beautiful it was because there was no trash like there was wherever they sailed from. But
unfortunately, that's not true. You know, they just dump in the ocean. I guess there's a lot. If I remember right, I think Mike said something. I might not. I remember having this conversation with somebody, and I can't remember if it was Mike or if it was one of my somebody I worked with. Oh no, it was my coworker. She was She worked in the Navy. She was a Navy person, and she said that they would always dump in the in the ocean. All that trash on that ship, they don't fucking take it back to America and dump it. They dump it in the ocean.
Wow.
Yeah. It sucks, dude. It was a bummer, man. It was fucking such a bummer. So now, since then, and this was only a week ago, I've been so conscious of all the shit now. And like when I go eat, I'm like, fuck yeah, look at all this. Look at all this. Look. And I'm like, damn, there's fucking trash everywhere.
Yeah, that's when I think about it now, I mean, I really haven't eaten a whole lot of fast food lately.
I mean, it's all trash.
It's almost beginning of the year, but you're right. I think about it because what I eat a lot now is I go and I eat sushi, and so I just use chopsticks.
Right.
And then it's on the wooden thing, so I don't ever think about it except for like the paper from my straw.
Right.
Straws.
Right. Yeah, there you go, straws, dude. It's a serious fucking ordeal, dude.
I could drink out of the cup. I'm just being a lazy bastard.
See, and I don't. Even before all this, I've never liked straws. When I go to restaurants, I drink out of a cup, and I've had a lot of people be like, "Oh, that's so much." You know how many germs are on there? I'm like, you know what? I don't care about germs because I want my immune system to be strong.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I don't really care about germs. So I've never been a straw person anyway. And even when I did use a straw, I just end up throwing it in my date's cleavage, just to, because they're always wearing low-cut shirts. You're just like, cleavage. I'd always do it. I'm not gonna call you out who I would do it to, but you know who you are because I do it all the time. But yeah, it's a bummer. So I thought to myself, maybe I should start recycling. But here's the thing about recycling, especially living in a small town like we do. Mm-hmm. It's not that hard. But to go to the recycling center that we have, I work during the week. I have no time to go do it. And then on top of that, if you let your shit sit around that you're recycling, then it smells. You get bugs attracted to the whatever, and I'm not gonna like clean everything. Like I'm not gonna clean out my milk jug or whatever all the time, because then you end up wasting water. To clean all your shit.
You have to wash them all out.
You know what I thought about doing though? I was thinking about this the other day about conserving water. I was like, I should start a water challenge, like a shower challenge to people. And to you people listening, I want to challenge you to this. You'll be my first starting people. Is pick one of your favorite songs and take a shower in the time that song plays. And if you can finish your shower before that song is over, then you've helped save water in a lot of ways. Because people are taking 10 to 15 minute showers. If you can pick like a 3 minute to 4 minute, maybe a 5 minute song, and you can take a shower within that time, that's the one song shower challenge that I want to bring to the world. I want to help fucking save water.
It's totally doable. You
You
know
think?
what? I'll text.
Well, you got hair. I don't have hair. Would you be able to do that?
Yeah, I'll text you as soon as I'll try it next shower.
Fuck
I'll
yeah.
pick a 5 minute song and I'll text you the
Yeah.
name of the song that I did. But I'm totally guilty. I'm at least a 3-song person.
Yeah, see, I've been doing it in one song, dude. I've been doing it for the past week, and I've been fucking killing it.
Yeah.
I mean, I might start a little bit of one song, but I'm like, that's still really good.
Yeah.
But I also don't have hair.
Yeah.
So I don't know if, like, for a woman who has long hair,
Yeah.
that's might be a little tough. However, but if you're still conscious and you're still trying, that you're at least doing, you're still helping.
Yeah.
You know?
You're doing something that's better than not doing anything.
Yeah, man. So the one, listen to me over here. I'm all Mexican. The one song sour challenge. Fucking try it out, people. Try it.
Yeah.
For sure. I think it'd be a real fun way to kind of give yourself a small challenge, and you'd be saving water at the same time. And if you can do it, hell yeah. And if you want, comment on the page and tell us what song you listen to also. And maybe other people will be like, well, I could see if I can beat it in this song or whatever it may be. You know what I mean? Because I'm down. I've been listening to like one song and I've been doing it all. But I'm conscious about it. So I'm like, all in ass,
I'm gonna start off with Metallica 1 because it's so long.
Nice.
It's like an 8-minute song.
Yeah, see, and that was the one thing I also was thinking about. I was like, somebody's going to do a fucking Fish song or something,
Yeah.
it's going to be like a jam song, or like the Grateful Dead, like a 8-minute song or something, or whatever. Don't do those. Do a real song. So yeah, it was cool. Like I said, the one song sour challenge. Give it a shot. Do your part to save the world.
One song.
Yeah.
Shower challenge.
I'm always on YouTube all the time.
Yeah.
So I listen, like when I'm in the shower, I go on YouTube. It's usually a podcast or whatever. But I've been doing the songs lately, and I'm like, man, there's a lot of good songs on YouTube. So it doesn't always have to be the same song. Just find a song that your grandpa liked, that you like, that whatever you and your ex fucking listen to, that you want to reminisce on, whatever. Just fucking pick one song. Try to take a shower before it's over with. Do it. But yeah, so that's my little bit to the world. But yeah, man, here's one thing I saw this today, and I wanted to share with you because I know you're a big fan of movies. I'm a big fan of movies.
It's Warriors right there.
Yeah, man.
Now I can tell.
Check it out, dude. And it came out. This is
I didn't think 79. So this is all the movies that came out in 79.
Yeah, this movie is what does that make it then?
It makes it 39, depending on when it
Yeah. So today is 39 years ago that this movie came out. I love this movie.
Yeah, I remember watching it on TV. All the different games. It was like
The baseball, the Furies were my favorite. I don't know why, but I just like the Furies. I was all down about it. And of course, there's so many cool one-liners, you know, like "Can you get it?" And then obviously everybody knows the Warriors. Everybody knows that. Come out to play. Yeah, so 39 years ago, man.
I wonder if they ever made this. Would have made a good video game, right? Like
They did make one.
Did they?
Yeah, and it's very similar to you know who made it? The people who made this and made the Red Dead Revolver.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Rockstar.
So it's a recent one, or?
Yeah, about
I mean, 10
5, 6
years?
years ago. Yeah,
Okay.
no more than 10 for sure. Yeah, dude, for sure it's out. I seen it.
Huh. I'd like to play that. Yeah,
Yeah.
because I always thought like you go through the different levels, beating the different games,
Right.
and then move further on the subway down the map.
Oh, so you even made it in there?
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, you might be onto something so good that I wouldn't doubt that might even be what they came up with, because that's a fucking brilliant idea. Brilliant idea. So yeah, big fan of this movie. So if you are too, you should maybe watch it this week. 39 years ago, do the anniversary.
I think I will.
Yeah. I had it, but somebody... Here it is.
Was that guy on Mad Max too?
I don't think so. But he always played a scuzzy dude. He never played like an honorable guy ever. You know, that's what sucks. I was talking about this with a friend. And I was thinking, I was like, you know what sucks about movies, like if you're an actor, like you get casted in some, like even if you're just a great actor, and you always get casted as the shithead, just like, oh, well, you look like the kind of shithead. And you know, and it's like every movie you're in, you're that guy. And you're like, that would have to like mess with you some way.
Haven't you ever seen people? I know I've been walking around, or I walk into a bar or somewhere and kind of scan the crowd. I'm like, oh, that dude looks like an asshole right there,
Yeah.
like a shithead. You know, I'm
I'm
not.
judging for sure. I do it.
And there's people that just have that look on their face, and I don't really know what to tell you that those features are, but you know, when you see him, you're like, yeah, that dude just looks like a dick, right? Like,
Yeah, I got that a lot in high school. Like people would never talk to me. The only people that would talk to me were always my friends. And it would take after, you know, obviously you get out of high school, you start going out a little bit and you drink and you end up running into people you normally wouldn't run into when you were in school, because school is very cliquish. I had so many people come up to me and be like, man, I thought you were always so mean. And I was like, why? And they're like, because you just always look mad. And I was like, no, man, I'm fucking look. I mean, I was like, no.
yeah, you're one of the easiest people to talk to.
Yeah,
You
but
just-
people were like, always thought I was this asshole, you know, and it's like you said, people just have a look, you know.
Yeah.
So maybe I'd be casted as the asshole all the time, you know.
Maybe.
Maybe.
I never looked at you in that. Light.
Well, you know, because you know me,
Yeah.
it's hard to do that with people you actually know. So if I was ever to play a cool role in a movie, I'd have to write my own fucking movie just to do it, you know. But yeah, it's when I saw that today, I was like, what a blast from the past. 39 years ago, good movie. Have you seen Ready Player One?
Yeah.
Dude,
I saw it in the theater.
did you?
Yeah.
Oh, you know, I went to pay my cable bill the other day, or yesterday, as a matter of fact, and they were watching some movie, and me and the guy that was paying my bill or taking my money, we started talking about movies, and like, man, I go, have you seen Ready Player One? He goes, yes. And I feel like there's a movie every 10 years, maybe a little longer, that just comes out, and you may have a different opinion on it, but there's always a movie that comes out that it just kind of blows shit away. Like Avatar was one, Lord of the Rings was one.
Yeah.
Let me think of some older movies that are out there that kind of changed the world, or just made an impact in the Hollywood landscape. And I truly feel that Ready Player One is one of those movies that just, I wasn't expecting what it ended up being for me, but I just feel like it was one of those epic movies that I was like, well, that was a fucking event. That was something. That wasn't just a sci-fi movie. Like, that was somewhat of an event for me.
Yeah.
Did you feel that way?
I felt it was pretty good. I didn't I didn't have any expectations. I really didn't know anything about it. As a matter of fact, I was going to go visit my girlfriend in San Antonio, and we were just like, let's go watch a movie. That one looks interesting. We walked in. I really had no idea what it was about, but yeah, I thought it was
Steven Spielberg.
Really, like you say, the way it starts off, like in the video game or the animated part or whatever you want. I don't even know if it's animated.
Yeah, I know. I was thinking about that. What would you call
It's
that?
like CGI, I guess.
Something.
But anyhow, how it goes back and forth, and then the story and all that. I mean, it was pretty cool. Are they gonna make more? Was it supposed to be more?
You know, it didn't end with the cliffhanger. You're like, oh, there's gonna be another. It didn't end like that. But man, like I said, I wasn't expecting what it was. But to me, I was just like, holy crap, that was amazing. That was such a journey.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah, so that was just like, I feel like one of those movies that comes every once in a while, because there's just a bunch of movies that are always getting pumped out. You know, you have like your random dude movies, your random chick flicks, whatever. But there's just one of those movies that just everybody sees. Like I guess you could call Black Panther one of those movies. But I don't know if it was necessarily the cinematic accomplishment or just more of the social climate at the time that made it such a big ripple in the world. But it was, like I said, you got to watch Ready Player One if you hadn't seen it.
Yeah, it's I guess looking back and thinking about it now, it's like kind of how everybody's established around playing the video games or doing something online. The whole world's online.
Yeah, it was neat how they tied all
that
that.
concept or whatever seems pretty like could be feasible, you know.
Right.
I think that's like kind of like I'm watching this show right now. It's on Hulu, I guess, called The Handmaid's Tale. Have you ever heard anything about it?
I don't have Hulu, unfortunately.
It's man, it's kind of got where it could be like that future seems real possible too. So I'll just try to give you a quick rundown on it. The like people are they can't have babies anymore. Babies are few and far between getting born, so the world is being less populated. These group of people take over America and name it New Gilad, and they are Gilead. I can't remember what it is, but anyhow, and they're real religious, so everything's run by the Bible. And since they can't have kids, the women that are fertile, the husbands that are married to these wives, the handmaids, they get to try and have children with them. So they have this thing called a ritual, but it's sex, trying to get the handmaid pregnant so that the husband and wife can have a kid. And then if she does have a baby, she'll get moved to another house, and that those people can have a kid. And they're like using them, but they can't leave. They don't have a choice in it. They're like slaves to it, basically. But how these people take control at the very beginning is like they talk about it and they have this plan. It's like 4 stages. It's like first the like Senate, and then the Congress, and then they make event happen at the warehouse that looks like terrorism, so then they can take military control of the United States. And then when they do that, they take away women's rights right away, like women can access their bank accounts and stuff like that. Not that it would go to like that extreme right away, but I mean the way like things seem to be leaning far right or that way, like that, you know.
Damn. That's
Yeah.
crazy. When does it have like a time period that it's set in?
It's like in the near future because they're driving around like kind of like
Regular
Escalades
cars.
and Mercedes and stuff like that. Yeah, and America doesn't look too different. I mean, the streets, like the main part that they take over is Boston, and it looks like Boston, but they've just changed the name of the streets and everything because they've taken over.
Sounds crazy.
People try to escape to Canada. That's where you can get away. Otherwise, you'll get, you know. But in Canada, so then in Canada, there's where all the Americans live is somewhere, I guess, in Toronto or something, and it's called Little America. And it's just this little part where all the American refugees are.
Yeah. Wow. What's it called again?
The Handmaid's Tale. Yeah.
So does it follow somebody, or?
Yeah, it follows the story of this. The main character, her name is June, and her husband, they have a 5-year-old kid, and it starts with them trying to escape.
Oh shit.
And then they get caught. She gets caught, and it follows her journey. She gets turned into a handmaid, and like it's a whole process they go through. Like it's like America, but the culture had changed. People dress older. It's they're trying to restore values, is what they say. Like the reason that the earth
Make America great again.
Yeah, the reason that the earth and everything is or people can't have children is because God's mad. So you got to adhere to the Bible and all this. That's why women can't have rights. Can't own property or work or anything like that. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
So if you're a fucking Me Too movement kind of woman, you probably ain't watching that show.
I bet they are. No, I bet they are. Actually, a woman recommended it to me.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. This one of the ladies that works at the Elk store where I like to go have those fancy drinks. Yeah, she was like, "You gotta watch it." And then one day I did, and I'm on season 2, and it's.
Oh, so there's multiple. Shit, man, I wish I had Hulu. That sounds cool. That sounds interesting. I don't watch enough interesting shows. I will say that about myself. If I had to criticize myself, I got off of some of the mind-opening shows. I went to just enjoyable shows, you know, like, you know, Face Off, or like it's one of those competitive shows with like movie makeup. Like I watch stupid shit.
Oh yeah, I've seen those. Those are pretty interesting.
Yeah, but it's cool.
Yeah.
But it ain't one of those like thought-provoking shows, you know.
Yeah.
Like I'm not watching, and maybe I need to try that. So anybody listening, definitely comment me with something like I have Netflix though, so anything on Netflix, if you can shout out something, let me know, man. I need to watch some more thought-provoking shit. Kind of open up my little imagination zone. I was one. Football's about to start, so it's going to be kind of hard for me to watch anything but football.
Yeah.
But
hey, preseason games tonight.
yeah, I know. It's the Houston Texans are playing the Chiefs. I was a big Chiefs fan. They got rid of Alex Smith, so I really don't have a reason to watch them anymore. There's so many people moving around. Even with basketball, I mean, look at Kawhi Leonard's gone. LeBron's in L.A. I mean, shit.
Hey, you could still be a Chiefs fan though, I think, because quarterback now is from Tech, and I think he's from Texas.
Oh, and that dude's a badass.
Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah. You okay? Good point.
That's a funny name. That's like, what's up, Mahomes?
Yeah, I'd be all about it too, dude. Hell yeah. Holmes. Yeah. You know, and as well as musical chairs, even MMA this past, UFC's gotten DJ fucking lost his belt.
Yeah. Did you? I guess you watched it.
No, I did not.
Oh.
I have a hard time shelling out $70, especially for that pay-per-view. Other than the main event and the co-main event, it was kind of trash.
Yeah.
But I did want to see Cody and DJ because I hate both of them, but I knew it was going to be a good fight, and it ended up being a good fight. Dillashaw closed them out.
Yeah.
You know?
He did. You could see it happening, man. It was when they'd start slugging it out. Garbrandt would his hands would stay low, and Dillashaw was still moving his hands, and that was the difference. That they were just slugging it out, but Garbrandt wasn't covering up.
Yeah. I think the training with Lomachenko, because that's where DJ was going, was he was fighting with Lomachenko. I think that helped a lot with the hands, and it showed in this past fight. You know.
And then the DJ Cejudo fight.
See, and I thought, I didn't, like I said, I didn't watch the fight, but from what I really thought DJ got robbed. But as I've heard some experts talk about it, they feel it was very justifiable that Cejudo actually won that fight.
It could have that when it was over. So me, George, and Charlie was watching it with us for a little bit too. Yeah, and there was 2 rounds to each one that was pretty definitive. I thought, like, there was no doubt that Cejudo had 2 and Johnson had 2, but there was that one debatable one, just depended on what you liked. But it was pretty exciting overall. It wasn't like a bad one. And then let's see, who else? That was those 2 fought. There wasn't another big name fight on that card. I'm trying to think.
Who else would have fought on that? I can't think. No, that was basically it.
Yeah.
I think that was it. Those 2 fights were really good fights. I think these other fights coming up are going to be really good. They said Connor's coming back.
Yeah, Connor against Khabib, and then Nick Diaz was supposed to come back and fight Dustin Poirier, but he got mad. I don't know if he will.
Actually, I heard some insight. I don't know if you watched Below the Belt with Brendan Schaub. You ever see that?
No, I don't.
I'm a big fan of Fighter and the Kid and Below the Belt with Brendan Schaub. And he was saying, they were talking about that today, and they said it was brilliant for Nate to do that because now, instead of everybody talking about Conor and fucking Khabib, a lot of people are talking about fucking Nate being like, fuck this, fuck them, I ain't going to fight. And Dustin Poirier tweeted back to Diaz saying, I'm not going to fight either. Obviously he was joking, but it brought a different light to the whole situation where, like I said, people could be talking about Khabib and Conor, but no, we're talking about fucking Nate Diaz,
Right, Nate Diaz throwing his
And so they said that was his version of throwing the dolly. You know, so I was like, all right, I get it.
He threw the verbal dolly.
Yeah, so I'm excited to watch. I'll watch anything Nate Diaz is doing. Not necessarily because I'm a fan of Nate Diaz, but he puts on fights.
Yeah.
He's a fighter.
Yeah, his are pretty exciting.
Yeah.
Hey, a question for you. How long are we going today?
Oh, we got 10. We're at 10 more minutes.
I just want to talk about some.
Have at it.
Okay. So I always usually try and wear my shirt when I come out. It's the Berg. I don't know. I think I've talked about it before.
Yeah.
It's an organization I'm president of. Community we put on rec leagues. We just finished a soccer one. And basketball a while back. We had a 3-on-3 tournament a couple of weekends ago. Coming up on September 16th, we'll start another fall soccer league. You can go to the bergfbg.org, and there'll be more information there, registration forms you can download, people to contact. You can go to our Facebook page, which is just the Berg FBG, and we'll post more information there. But this Saturday we're doing a cleanup at the middle school basketball court. We're going to take brooms, repaint the 3-point lines, get the court all
Nice.
cleaned up and ready
Before
for when
school
school
starts.
starts. Yeah,
Yeah.
so the court's ready to go to play. And then we'll also look for us at the fair parade coming up. We'll have a float in conjunction with the Rotary Club to be sponsoring. I can't think of the phrase of it right now, but we're trying to come together. The Rotary Club mostly. This is mostly them to build a sports pavilion by HED. What's that park called? Old Fair Park.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
So behind the soccer fields, between the skate park, there's an area there.
You got an open lot.
Right, and I think Rotary is getting the funds together. We're trying to help where we can, and it's going to be like this big concrete, like double court. They can have 2 courts running side by side. It'll be covered with a pavilion with open sides.
What kind of court are we talking?
I think I know the base will be concrete. I guess depending on how much funds are raised, that'll determine what the surface of it is. But I mean, we'd like to have something like that little maybe rubbery stuff that's better on your knees than jumping on concrete and the ball bounces around and stuff like that.
So it'd be a basketball court.
Yeah, basketball courts.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Yeah, basketball courts.
All right.
That's what they would be. So anyway, yeah.
Yeah, man, that's cool. And you know, one thing about if you're a listener, which we have a small little cult going, so I gotta appreciate all you guys who take the time to listen. We are strong, but we are fucking mighty. So shout out to all you guys that watch the podcast, because for some reason we only have about 170 viewers, or 270 followers, but yet our podcasts are in the thousands of views. So shout out to you people that take the time to watch, share, whatever it may be. But one of the things that I've always appreciated about Felipe coming on is he sheds lights on this organization that he talks about. Is it's a group of guys in a community that ain't okay with just being in the community. They want to do something for the community. And I fucking so love that, because in a world where I think a lot of people kind of go like, oh, well, what can I do? I can't make a difference. I can't make a difference. These guys are like, you know what? We can make a difference, and they do things. They do small scholarships, you know, from what I understand.
Mm-hmm.
They put on so many different events to bring people in, and you get to be friends with the community. Because I know when Felipe first started, he told me, man, it's great because you go and you would always see these people in the community, but you didn't know who they were. Now you see guys at the store and you're like, hey, what's up? You know, you like see them with their wives and family. And you're like, hey, man, you know, you got this camaraderie among men, and that is something that is definitely lost in today's world. You go home from work and you stay at home. Now they give you an outlet to be around other people, men and women, right? Because you have men and women.
Some women do go and play, but we have women participate in other sports. There's also like volleyball and dodgeball and things like that.
I've seen the dodgeball. It's cool, man. That looks badass. I want to try that. I'm always late on the ball, though, because every time I talk to you, you're like, oh, yeah, we started about 2 weeks ago. And I'm like, shit.
Well, basketball season will be starting soon, too. Probably next month also, around the same time soccer. What did I say? Soccer would be on the 16th. That'll be the first game. I'm guessing basketball will be somewhere that following week. So start lacing them up, man. Get ready and come play. I won the championship last week.
No way, no.
I didn't win it. I shouldn't say
Your
like
team,
that.
the team
but
you're
I was
on.
on the team, and I played. That was my 4th or 5th season playing, and I finally won. I lost in the first round once, and then in the second round, never made it to the final. But yeah, then.
So what did you have being that y'all won? Was there any kind of trophies?
Yeah. Oh, I'd show you a picture here.
Oh, well, I can't. You won't be
Yeah.
able to see it, but it's all good. That's cool that y'all have some kind
You
of.
can go to.
Oh yeah, the Berg has a
Yeah,
page, right?
yeah.
The Berg on Facebook. Check it out.
Yeah, the Berg FBG on Facebook.
Like and follow. You'll get updates on cool shit that they're doing.
Yeah, ask to join. Join us there, and you'll get updates, and you can see the championship photo with me in it.
Right. And you'll get the information that you need to enjoy events. I see them all the time, but I'm always late on the draw. I don't get on Facebook enough, and because I'm too busy looking at pages to find content instead of following the pages I should be watching. You know what I mean? Like I end up looking for content to show. Anyway, like I said, I think that's a great organization. And I want to play one more video before we get out, and it's with the same theme that we're talking about. Is these guys taking the time to make a difference? I want to show this video of this gentleman that's one man making a difference. And so
I saw you, and I was wondering what this was because you hid whatever it was about. You just said man walks, or I don't know if you wrote it or somebody. Yeah, that's all I saw right there.
Yeah, this gentleman. Yeah, it's pretty neat. For you who want to read, but if people who don't want to read, this is one man who realized that he lives in this part of the world that is just torn apart. It used to be a flush, lavish area with a lot of green vegetation, and he grew up in this area. And as he's grown up, he's realized that all this is gone. Something's happening. So he goes and plants one tree every year for the past, 37 years, I think he said. Yeah, it's become part of his routine for 37 years. And people, look at what happens. Look at this. One man did this. And what ended up happening is all these animals come back to his area. Elephants show up. Gorillas, all kinds of animals, because of this one man that took the time to plant one. Look at that. Bengal tigers, that's an extinct animal. A rhino. This one man made this all happen. Amazing. Because of him just planting one tree every year for 37 years. Amazing. One man can make a difference. Just like the dudes at the Berg. They're making a difference. It's amazing.
That is amazing.
Right?
It's beautiful.
Yeah, absolutely. So, just like I said, you can change the world. Take the time. And it doesn't even necessarily happen to be by yourself. You join an organization like the Berg, and you're fucking part of making a difference.
Yeah.
That's what it's about.
Yeah, and sometimes I get it that organizations aren't for everybody.
Yeah.
I for the longest time didn't want to be a part of something, but this just is what worked for me. But at the very least, you can just be good to your fellow human being, and just treat people how you want to be treated.
Dude, and he's hitting on one of the things that we like to preach here on the show, and that's humanity. And Felipe fucking hit it right on the head. Treat people how you want to be treated. The world is a crappy place. There's a lot of dickheads in it. Don't be one of them. Yep. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so,
it's too much time. You don't, or not too much time. You don't have enough time to waste. Most of it being a dick.
Right. Yeah. One other thing I wanted to say is I've tried to get that Justin Hill on the show, man. Next time, bring him with you.
I will. I almost did it tonight, but I didn't.
I knew I should have texted your ass. I
thought about it, but I was like, no. But hey, just let me know, and if it's
we'll get both of y'all back on for sure.
Yeah. Okay.
And I'll give y'all enough time so y'all can kind of get your information together, and we'll do a straight whole Berg one.
Okay.
So it'll be cool. But yeah, man.
Yeah, we'll do that. We can bring the website up on here.
Yeah, exactly.
I help make the website. That was a pretty cool experience. Yeah. Definitely, I'll bring Justin Hill. That's the gentleman that created the Berg.
Yeah, and it'd be nice to and people you can kind of shed light on some of the things more in depth for people who want to be interested and want to maybe join. You can give them some more in depth examples and information about what's going on exactly.
Yeah, and just hearing Justin's story is pretty cool too. He's pretty passionate about it, and what made him decide to start this it's pretty cool because I think we've all been in that situation, but he just chose to do something a little bit different.
Well, you heard me, Justin. I already tried talking to you. You gotta come on. You better come back. But yeah. So let's wrap this up, y'all. We are August the 9th, and this is episode number 43. Like I said, man, thank you to Cousin Felipe, man. The dude shows up, and he helps me do a great show every time. Fucking clutch, dude. For sure. If I were Indiana Jones, you're definitely that little Chinese kid. Awesome. You're always there, man. You got my back, dude. I can't appreciate it enough, y'all. But yeah, man, it's been good. It's like I said, we're just a little cult following, and we're chugging along, and I can't do it without you guys, and I know y'all take the time. You guys are at work, you're doing whatever you got to do, and like I said, I cannot appreciate you guys enough, man. Thank you so much for always being there. Whenever we put out a show or we don't put out a show, you guys are always like, hey, when's the show coming up, man? Like I said, it makes the hard work that goes into making this show worth it because you guys are there to show support, man. Like I said, I can't thank you guys enough, but like I said, we're going to wrap this up. Be good to one another. Episode number 43.
43.
Yeah, and we are August the 9th. Y'all guys take care. Be good to one another. Do your thing. Check out the Berg. Like I said, thank Felipe.
Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, man.